Today I'm going to show you how to smoke these two big pieces of fresh salmon I just got in the local market. We're going to start by applying a very thick layer of kosher salt to these two fillets of salmon. The amount of salt is indifferent as I'm going to remove it with cold water after 1 hour of marination. We're intending here to oversalt the product. After adding the salt, we're going to proceed to add a generous amount of sugar of your choice. In this case, it's just plain granulated cane sugar. And again, the amount is not really important as we're going to only allow this marinade to penetrate for 1 hour. There are two main intentions to this process. First of all, to impart the salmon with this beautiful salty and sweet flavor, and second, use this marinade as a purifying agent that is going to help us to eliminate excess water. After only 20 minutes, we can see how much liquid is pouring out of this salmon by the contact of the salt and the sugar. By the time 1 hour of marination go by, we are going to observe how much liquid has poured out of our salmon. As you can see here in the bottom of the tray. Then when we get to this point, we're going to rinse it with cold water as I just did, and we're going to get ready for the smoking process. I'm going to be using this all-gas grill as a smoker. I made this little vessel utilizing tin foil, and I'm going to add a piece of napkin with vegetable oil. On top, I'm going to add a small handful of lamb charcoal. The tissue infused with vegetable oil is going to allow me to kickstart this fire very easily. I'm going to utilize a cold smoking technique, meaning I don't intend to create heat, just smoke, so a little bit of charcoal only is required. As you can see, that tissue with vegetable oil makes my life really easy in terms of lighting this fire. For today's smoking process, I choose hickory wood chips that I bought in the local supermarket, and what I'm going to do is soak them in water for 20 or 30 minutes. This is going to prevent those chips to flaring up and burning right away when I put them on top of the coals. My salmon bit washed and pat dry and is ready for the smoke. Now that my coals are nice and hot, I'm going to start by putting just a small handful of these wood chips right on top of the coals and let them to start smoking. The process will take around 4 or 5 minutes. Now we are ready to smoke, and simply placing in any way we can those big chunks of salmon inside the smoker. I'm not going to be using the gas in this grill. I'm just going to be utilizing that smoke because I don't want them to cook the salmon right now. I'm going to want to cook them later on when my guest arrives, so the salmon is nice and juicy. I'm going to allow this beautiful salmon to slowly smoke for 1 to 1.5 hours. After 15 to 20 minutes, I open the grill again to check the progress and see if I need to add more wood chips. I'm going to keep repeating this process every 15 to 20 minutes, keep feeding those coals with more and more wood chips as required until 1 hour goes by. Now we are approaching to the last 20 minutes of this process, and as you can see, the salmon is still completely raw, but has this beautiful salty, sweet and smoky flavor. After this, I'm going to remove the salmon and put it aside and wait for my guest to arrive. I'm going to be cooking this in very high broil, just as required when my guests are hungry. What I'm going to do is set my broil at super high temperature and put them in for around 5 minutes until they burn a little bit on the top and get all those sugars very nicely caramelized. The result is a very delicious, juicy, flaky, sweet and salty, smoky piece of chunky salmon that everybody will love. I hope you like this video and try this recipe with your friends. It's really amazing, really easy and always a success. Thank you so much. See you next time.
The way you were creating carnage out there. You're smoking the fish.